Alright, so this is the final part 3 of 3 of my nostalgic rewind, taking a look back at the AVP 2010 series. And this is my favorite of the 3 campaigns, that's why I saved it for last. Just from the get-go, I mean, I think they knew this was probably their best character to play as. So it weirdly almost feels like they spent the most time on it, just because you can do so many things as the Predator. You can, jump great distances. You have your regular light and heavy attacks with your wrist gauntlets, but then you also have, the smart disc, the combi stick, your plasma caster. I may be forgetting one. Then you have your thermal vision, your night vision that shows you the alien. And I feel like, it really kind of changes up the combat for this one, which the Xenomorph one, I guess you could say is... No. The Xenomorph one, whenever you try doing, I feel like a full force, just brunt attack, you're dead. I mean, you're gonna die quickly. With the Predator, you can go either stealth or just run in. And I feel like, for the most part, you're gonna basically be fine either way. I mean, obviously, I like to basically do stealth for the first half of any area, and then finish up just running around killing people. And the death animations for the Predator are amazing. I think there's maybe three or four. But, I mean, you'll rip out the spine. Yeah, you'll stab you from the back, slit their throat. I mean, it's pretty crazy. If only it would have taken some pointers from... Well, I guess the Darkness 2 came out after this, but, just horrifying, gruesome executions like Darkness 2 would be dope. But as you can see, it's like, yeah, you can be stealthy and stuff. It does drain your power. Actually drains your power kind of quick. Using the plasma caster also drains about 1/3 of your power. One thing that they do implement in all 3 campaigns is, like, you can collect stuff. Like the Predator, you can collect, I believe, like, bone necklaces. But it's just one of these things where I do wish there was, like, I'm not necessarily saying side objectives, but, like, like in Resident Evil 4, hey, shoot all the medallions, and then the merchant will give you a free gun. Something like that. Like, hey, you went through the game and you found all these things, cool. Well, the next time you play through, you've unlocked, X weapon, or some kind of something within the story. And this story, just like all the others, they do interconnect, but I feel like the game doesn't necessarily do a whole lot of good job explaining where and when. I mean, where, I suppose so, because they basically... A way to save money, and it works for the most part, is to reuse assets. So you'll go back to the pyramid and stuff like that. I had honestly hoped with this part, because you put on the mask and you can see what the last, like, champion saw. I had wished that there would have been a segment where you get to actually play as him and learn, like, a new attack mode or something to help you, and then, start introducing enemies where you'll need to use it on. Because I can't really sit here and say, like, oh, well, the game was from 2010, because 2010 still had pretty good games with pretty good mechanics. I'd say give it a couple years from that, like the 2012, 2013 era is when it really was starting to push, like, right before the PS4 era and Xbox One era is when the game started, like, introducing, I feel like, a lot more mechanics. this is how you can see the xenomorphs. There are, you know what, I will say now that I think about it, there are some of these jumping mechanics. You see this, how you kind of highlight an area and jump to it. There were plenty of times where I keep highlighting it and I'm trying to jump because I'm running from enemies, where he just wouldn't jump, and then I get swarmed by xenomorph and die, and that was definitely annoying. And it gets to a point where you have so many different weapons and can just keep using them that it gets so overly ridiculous. These android enemies that you fight, you throw the combi stick at it, they'll blow up. I mean, they'll blow up regardless when they die. But you throw the combi stick, they blow up, they're by their friends, they blow up too, everyone blows up, and so you can just sit there in the corner and just spam the combi stick over and over again, because you launch it and then you just immediately just one appears in your hand, and so you just repeatedly just keep throwing it over and over again. It's almost as OP as the smart gun for the human story, where it just auto aims and you just fire and it just automatically just starts killing all the enemies. And you know, this game, I feel like, incorporated weirdly the movies, but wanted to be like a continuation of the old games, but also a continuation, weirdly, of the movies, or at least a weird inspiration from the movies, because I feel like it's almost basically got the same Predalien from AVP Requiem. You know, I guess because that was the new cool thing, which I'm not hating on the design. I love the design of the Predalien. I just wasn't sure when this game came out. You know, because I was a junior in high school, maybe, or freshman, one of those, or sophomore. I hadn't really played the old games super much, and so my memory was kind of hit or miss. And I was like, wait a minute, is this like relating to the movie, or is this relating to the old games, or a certain comic book? Like, what am I missing? Yeah, I mean, like, as you see, the ship designs, everything, a lot of it's mimicking the movies, but yeah, overall with this Predator ending, you kill the Predalien, you know, you have all the ancient Predator's mass weapons, stuff like that, cool. I do wish that they would have made a sequel. It's been 12 years, and there's no, at least from what I've heard, there is no, like, oh, hey, we're making a sequel, or a remake, or a remaster, nothing. Thank God for Alien Isolation kind of bringing, you know, light to that, but I mean, there's Predator Hunting Grounds, but no. No. They can't help themselves. They can't just make a single-player story with, like, a multiplayer built in. No, it has to be pure multiplayer. Yeah, that's what So yeah, there's not really much more left to say. This is my favorite campaign, and I got it on Steam for real cheap, like under $5 when it was on sale, I think a couple years ago. You could find it on Xbox 360 if you really want. I have not found that in a store anywhere, and I'm sure on Amazon it'd be like, yeah, I want $40 or some crazy shit like that. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching.